In this video, we're going to take a detailed look at Biltmore Village and the impact of Hurricane Helene. The hurricane hit on September the 27th. This footage was taken on December the 2nd and the 3rd. My name is Dominic Tavernitti. I've been a resident of Black Mountain for 8 years with my family. And since the storm, I've been capturing footage of our recovery from the storm as well as its impact. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'm going to use maps, aerial photography, as well as on the ground to take a detailed look at what has happened. Let's take a look at a map to see where we're going to be filming. You can see Asheville in the center of the screen. We're going to exit Interstate 40 West onto Sweeten Creek Road and drive Sweeten Creek Road as it turns into Brook Street, Lodge Street. Then we're going to take a right onto Hendersonville Road and a left onto Meadow Road and follow it around as it enters the River Arts District. Along the way, we're going to take a look at a number of businesses. Our primary focus is going to be in Biltmore Village, which is right here in the center of the screen. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is this topographical shelf that's going to contain the water to the floodplain. Now, in this area, we have the Swannanoa River that runs west, as well as Sweeten Creek that's going to dump into the Swannanoa River. Now, the water jumped the banks of the Swannanoa River and covered the entire floodplain during Helene, in the Swannanoa River as well as Sweeten Creek. So this entire area was covered with water. Now quickly, I'm going to zoom out to take a look at the previous videos that I've done. If you haven't seen them, I'll leave a link to these, and this will be really informative as to how much water was entering Biltmore Village. Now, I followed the watersheds from all the way up in the Montreat Wilderness flowing down into the Swannanoa River, the Burnett or North Fork Reservoir, the Bee Tree Reservoir, Buck Creek, and following the Swannanoa River all the way to this point. Now let's bring the map back to where we're going to be focused on, and we're going to start picking up in this area where we had left off with the last video. All right, off on the horizon is the Swannanoa Valley and the Swannanoa River flowing down. This is Lowe's up in the top of the screen. And in the previous video, we covered a number of these businesses that were impacted by the storm, a number of them that are recovering. Now, as we pan to the right facing west, we're going to zero in on the River Mill Lofts and Skyloft Apartments. I'm going to include here a video taken by someone else on the 27th during the storm, and this will give us a good perspective of how much water was flowing down the Swannanoa River and into Biltmore Village. And the water was 25, 30 feet high, had covered that first floor of those apartments there. Now we're going to cut to that video.
It's let loose. Oh, that's not good. Oh. It's gonna hit the pool though right here. Holy.
Now I want to give credit to Chris Faber. He's the owner of the Times Bar and Coffee. I assumed that he filmed this from his home or apartment there. Now the Times Bar and Coffee is open. It is not located here. It is in downtown Asheville. So we're going to fly into Biltmore Village. In a moment, we're going to come back and walk along the tracks to show some of the impact of where the water was flowing in from this direction. When we exit the highway, we're going to be coming down Hendersonville, or we're going to be coming down Sweeten Creek Road there. And now we're looking at Biltmore Village here. Now again, we're driving west on Interstate 40 and we're going to exit here at Sweeten Creek Road, Highway 25 alternate. On the right-hand side is Devil's Foot Brewing. They make a ginger beer and lemonade and some other great all-natural drinks. Now, Sweeten Creek Road, as we get further down here, floods quite frequently, at least since I've lived here over the past 8 years. So not entirely uncommon. I've seen a lot of these businesses clean out and repair after a flood. Up here on the left, we're going to pull over and we're going to take a look at Hillman Brewery. It is not open yet. I can see all the tables have been collected there, and we're going to take a quick look inside. Now they've got a cement floor, so fortunately they won't have to replace the flooring. Looks like kitchen equipment has been pulled out, so they're in the process of getting this back and running. Now they do have a location over in Old Fort that is open now. Now what we're looking at behind Hillman here is Sweeten Creek, and it wraps around the backside and then goes underneath the road and comes out over here and continues along. Now we've passed the point where the road changes name and turns into Brook Street as it comes into the village. Now we're backing up to that point where we're going to go down on the ground and take a look at this area. And this is where the water had flowed through, and they're still cleaning up. It's a pretty industrial area. So lots of warehouses. Now we're taking a look right now at Asheville Track. Let's take a look at their website. This is for Asheville Track, and it says they're closed indefinitely. Here's a shot looking towards their direction with this large tank there. They say that they are closed temporarily but indefinitely at this point, and they have not gotten back in to do any cleaning. Here's Dwellings Furniture. Right next to them, you can see all the mud that's still out front.
So on behalf of Falcon, we're coming in and establishing, in particular, where the electric meters need to be raised up to the new...
How much has it gone up from before?
I don't know what the old one was. It looks like we're raising them about 2 feet.
That looks like the high water mark there on the building.
Oh, it sure does.
Okay, we're back into the village at this point. I couldn't find the name of this building here, but it's a newer building. It's elevated. I think what's interesting here is how high it's elevated. It has to be 7 to 8 feet above the street level. A lot of these are high-end stores, but all of them were flooded as well. So we're looking at Talbot's here. As we go around the corner, Sonoma. Also completely taken down to the studs. Now we're headed over to the historic Biltmore Village. For those that know this area, you'll recognize this architecture and these small cottages. They were originally built by the Vanderbilts for employees, and as a kind of a self-contained town for the workers that worked on the Biltmore estate. So we're taking a look at corner kitchen here. Now let's flip over to their website. So they are saying that they are rebuilding, and it's going to take them at least 4 to 6 months to do repairs. And that is great to hear. What a wonderful, delicious restaurant. So they will be back. Now across the street, and we're on Boston Way, we're looking at Well-Bred. Now what was interesting is I went to their website and they have removed this location from the website. No mention at all of rebuilding here. So it's possible that they have other locations, Weaverville and elsewhere. Wonderful pastries, but from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like they're going to be going back into this space. Though I could be wrong. Somebody leave me a comment if they know. You can see marks on the wall here on some of the water. Now we are going around the corner. Let me flip over to our map here and show you where we are. We had walked down All Souls Crescent, took a right on Boston Way, looked at Corner Kitchen. Across the street was Well-Bred. Now we've taken a right on Swan Street, and we're taking a look at Eileen's. This is Eileen's here. You can see all the mud that's been shoveled away to the right of those steps. Eileen's website also says that they are rebuilding, and it's going to take them some time, so they'll be back. Now the Cantina is over on Brook Street, which is here. And we're going to walk down and we'll take a look at a couple of these businesses over here. Now, as we turn and zoom in, we're looking at the entrance down here to the Biltmore estate, and we're going to watch some news footage of the impact there.
They tell us 7 buildings were impacted severely by the overflow of the Swannanoa River.
The Starbucks property at the front of the entrance, our gatehouse shop, the lodge gate, group sales, our ticket center, our admissions booth, and one of our guest cottages.
Now we are looking at the entrance to Biltmore Estate here. This is McDowell Street, and this is Hendersonville Road, which we're going to turn and go up. Now we're looking back at some footage from USA Today from the day of the storm on September the 27th. We're looking up Hendersonville Road. Now here we turn to drive up on December the 2nd. And we're going to flip back and forth with some historical footage here. I'll try to keep everybody oriented. On the left is Moe's Restaurant. Take a closer look at that. And then Asaka Restaurant on the other side of the river. So also from December the 2nd, we're looking at Moe's. Now that's the Swannanoa River. The bridge is going over with Moe's on the south side and Asaka on the north side. So I believe because this building is going to be a complete tear down, there's not focused on cleaning it up at the moment. So we're looking at the Swannanoa River. There's still quite a bit of debris there. So we're driving up Hendersonville Road, and on the right-hand side, we're going to see Wendy's restaurant. Now on the second, you can see the excavator in the back that's taking it down. A day later, they had completely taken that down. Now we're going to cut to footage from the 27th, and you can see how high the water was there on Wendy's. Now we're looking south down Hendersonville Road back into Biltmore Village. You can see Asaka there on the right-hand side, green roof, just peeking out of the water. Again, we're over Wendy's being demolished there, and we'll take a look down south down Hendersonville Road towards Biltmore Village. Okay, so we're on Hendersonville Road, taking a left on Meadow Road. And we're going to take a detour here. This road coming up on the right, we're going to go to Highwire Brewing. And I want to pause there and go over to their website and show a picture from just after the storm. And I went inside and talked to one of the bartenders, and he had said the water had come right up to their, right up to the roller doors, but did not do damage inside. So they were incredibly fortunate here that it didn't do a great deal of damage, and they have reopened. You can see how the parking lot kind of drops away there. So they were just at the high water mark. And this is one of the great breweries in town. They have a couple locations. They do have one down in the River Arts District, primarily a distribution center, but they had a wonderful outdoor area and bar, and that was completely destroyed. Okay, we're continuing down Meadow Road here. So we're gonna come up on Habitat for Humanity Restore here on the left-hand side. But first we're gonna cut back to this footage. And as we pan west, we're looking at the Habitat for Humanity Restore here. This is the Biltmore Iron and Metal in here. And then our next clip is going to be looking at December the 2nd and the Swannanoa River. December the 3rd. So you can see how much the water has come down. And over to the right, we're going to go back and take a look at Habitat Restore. You can see that garage door buckled in on the side there. Then we look inside, you can see that it's looks like they're getting ready to start getting back into business, but it's still empty at this point, so it is not open. Now, I think what's interesting here, I was curious from the view on the satellite view if all of the metal had been washed away in the flood. And you can see this line of containers over here and how it's kind of buckled out. So I believe a lot of material had been pushed up against those. So I don't believe all of it had been washed away, but I imagine they lost quite a bit. And they're now busy sorting again. Now, businesses like this are absolutely critical to our recovery. If they had lost a lot of material in the flood, I would imagine there's almost an unlimited amount coming out of Asheville that they can help process for recycling and sorting. Now we're going to take a quick look at Dave Metal over here on the right-hand side, as well as Southern Concrete Material and Adams Products. Here's Dave Steele on the right. We're going to pull over and take a look at Southern Concrete Material. And this entire warehouse appears to be emptied out. It's tough to tell how much damage was done to this structure. And this is Adams Products. These are stacks of cinder blocks. I imagine they've recovered everything that could be recovered after the flood, but you can see a lot of these are completely covered with mud, probably rearranged since the flood. So now we're coming up on the extent that we're going to cover in this video. And as we make our way around the corner following the Swannanoa River, this was the bridge we just went over. We're now turning and we are headed to the point where the Swannanoa River that comes through here meets up with the French Broad River, a much larger river, and then continues on down through the River Arts District here. Now I've already filmed Amboy Road here and look to be putting that out in the next day or so. I want to say a special thank you to everybody that has supported me to continue documenting our recovery. Some people have contributed to the GoFundMe that I opened. I'll share a link to that, or have offered super thanks through YouTube. Thank you very much. This has been very critical in helping me continue to do this work. If you'd like to see some of the videos that I've already captured, all the way from Black Mountain and Montreat and tracing the Swannanoa River all the way to this point, please find the link to those videos in the description. Thank you so much for watching. And if there are any areas that you would like to see covered in detail in this format that I'm using, please leave a comment and I'll try to make it to those areas. Thanks so much.